I am a Super J and history double major. I went my first 2 years at the University of Towson in Maryland. It's a small university right outside of Baltimore. And then after 2 years there, I decided I wanted to switch majors to journalism. And I'm from Eugene, like I was raised here. And I knew that we had a great journalism program. It's my third year here, and I really like U of O. It's it is my hometown, but the town is nicer because Towson, it was right next to Baltimore, but it wasn't in Baltimore. So there's more to do here outside of campus, and campus is certainly bigger. It has a lot more resources. And the journalism school is great. There's a lot of great professors and a lot of great classes. And specifically for journalism students, I think it can be really helpful, especially if you're going to do any sort of international journalism, which was what I had originally been really interested in, because you're often going to go somewhere like where you just don't have time to learn different languages and study different customs and social settings. So you just got to learn how to do it. And then in general, even if you're not planning to do international journalism, it really forces you in it when you're doing an international setting to learn to read people's body language and to communicate better, because even if you don't speak the same language or only barely speak it, you actually can still communicate, and it forces you to do a better job. After I graduate, I am actually, like I said, I'm a double major in journalism and history, so I'm actually applying to graduate schools for history, and what I would really, really like to do is be a history professor somewhere, which is very difficult, but that would be really exciting. And that's actually kind of one reason I want to take this class is I think there's a lot of things that can be done to make history more interesting for young people, and that can be done with video and with computers. So even though I'm not sticking with journalism probably as a career, I still think a lot of journalistic things can be really useful. Well, what happened was I had wanted to do journalism, and then actually particularly after my Argentina trip, I kind of just started deciding that maybe journalism wasn't the career for me. But I was really close to finishing, so I wanted to finish, finish what I started, and I decided to add a second major of history because I decided that's what I'm more interested in, and try to go to grad school and hopefully teach history in a university setting someday. So that's how I ended up being a double major. I think they have a lot, they can have a lot in common, like investigative reporting and a study of history, particularly the field that I'm interested in, which is medieval England. They can be really similar, and you're often kind of using the same, sort of the same techniques. In the Middle Ages, we don't have a single written word from a peasant about what it was like to be a peasant. The only things that we have are court records, and from that we can figure out these people are having a fight or something. So it'd be really similar, and I think journalistic tools for making a story interesting can be used in the same way to make history more interesting, because I'm well aware I'm the exception to the rule, and most other people, they'd rather die than spend their time studying medieval English history. So it's a real challenge to convince other people that actually this stuff is really interesting, and I think journalism can be helpful in making stories out of history and making people want to read it and listen to it.